All right. All right, so we are live, guys. We are recording and we are live on YouTube. So if you're joining us on YouTube, welcome, welcome. This is the much anticipated soft launch of MetaFlexPro with Tony Potter, guys. You remember Tony? You saw him in the metaverse. We all lost our minds over that small intro that you did. We were like, wow, that is amazing. I want to do my presentations in the metaverse. Tony, you're going to have to help me with that. So welcome, everyone. I see a lot of people still trickling in. Make sure that you send those invites out. Again, it's very important that you get connected to the information, stay in front of it. This is a soft launch. We are live now. If you have already registered, you've been able to go into your back office and kind of take a look at things. But let me talk about Mr. Tony Potter. Tony has been working in technology for over 20 years. So he has a wealth of knowledge. He has been an enthusiast of blockchain technology since the early days of Bitcoin's debut. So that was a long time ago. Just kidding, Tony. So Tony has led global technology teams providing tools to over 70 countries. He's also had the honor of working on Akon. I love Akon, guys. So he's had the honor of working with Akon, the rappers team, responsible for bringing the city of Mali, and forgive me if I mispronounced that, Tony, in Africa, into the digital frontier of financial inclusion through the Akon cryptocurrency. So that is pretty amazing. I didn't know that. And I mean, to be able to work on something that big and being able to provide and enable a country to be on this crypto space, that is definitely huge. So there's a lot of movement in this space. Super excited to have you here with us today, Tony. The floor is yours.
Well, thank you, Maria. I appreciate you queuing it up for me. I've been asked to come on today and give everyone kind of a walkthrough, a little more of an in-depth walkthrough of your promoter back office. This back office that, and actually I'll start streaming so I can kind of, as I'm referring to things, you can see what I'm seeing. Are you seeing my back office, Maria?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
It looks amazing, Tony.
Oh, thank you so much. So I'm logged in just to a demo account. So most of you, I'm guessing, that are on this particular Zoom have probably gone through and received a link to a replicating site, and you went through the free sign-up process, and then you landed in here. So this is kind of where both promoters and prospectors come into. And right now, just as we're kind of fine-tuning and buttoning everything down, both promoters and prospectors are seeing the same thing, just so you know. Over time, and when I say over time, we're talking probably over the next several weeks, we'll have a better understanding of what we want promoters to only see and what we want prospectors to only see. So as over the next month, you'll probably see some things changing a little bit. For the most part, if you're a promoter and you're here because you really want to engage in MetaFlexPro and share it with people and get them involved and interested in purchasing NFTs and really taking advantage of the amazing products that we're going to have available here, then this is your experience here. And that's really what we're focused on today, so that you can become a coach and really understand the process. So as you get individuals to come in and become prospectors and explain the NFTs to them and explain the metaverse to them and kind of how we plug into that, you'll be able to kind of coach them on what steps they need to take so that they can secure some digital assets and really just start the journey with us. So as you land in here, this is the dashboard. I would, if I were coming in here, just kind of take a peek at the news feed every day. We'll keep this updated with very important information. So anytime there's a new project we're launching, anytime there's some information regarding commissions or something that is specific to promoters, you're going to see that there. So just kind of keep an eye on the news feed as you come in. Over here, most of this, like I said, is pretty self-explanatory. It'll give you kind of a heads-up display or a HUD of how you're progressing for the month, and you can look at last month and how big your team is growing to be. Again, just a lot of that. We'll do more in-depth training on the commission plan, and then you'll have a better understanding of what some of these different metrics mean. The main focus of today, and the main thing I want to focus on in this training, is how to understand the shopping experience, because that's the number one place where we're going to want to drive prospectors. Prospectors being people that want to purchase some of the NFTs we're excited about. And so there's some very important nuances that I think you'll need to know. And so once we come in here, the dashboard, I won't go into any of the other sections in too much detail, but I'll just give you a quick gloss over on these. I'm going to save the Where Play collection for last, because that's where we're going to focus our effort. The promoter website, everyone that comes in here, both prospectors and promoters, right, will have their own promoter website. And really it's just metaflexpro.com / whatever your username was that you selected and what you used to log in with. If I click to open this, you'll notice that the link looks like this, right? So it might have some other stuff like U equals, then you'll see your username and then the page ID. If you're sharing it on social media or across SMS, this is fine to share. But the ultimate way to share it is, again, if you need to, just type in your username here. So metaflexpro.com / your username, and share that, and that will resolve and write the cookie to your visitor's machine or device, so that if they go back to just MetaFlex Pro, it'll remember that you were the one that referred them, and then you'll get the credit if they sign up and become a part of your network. So those are just some things I would mention regarding that. Actually, let me open that back up. On this particular, on your replicating website, if you hover over the buttons, you're going to see, I don't know how well that'll show on the screen there, but you'll see that your user ID is part of the address. But the way to really confirm that this is your site is you can go all the way down to the bottom, and in the footer, you can actually see your referring information. So I'm logged in as a demo account here, Mr. Flex. Here's my ID number. There's my name. And then here's my email address or phone number. I can put either there. And then the general company support email there. Why I'm sharing this with you is that you can direct your prospects and visitors to go down there if they need to get a hold of you. This information right here where it says contact information displayed, you can change this to whatever you want. So if I go in here, I can change the name that's displayed. So if I don't really want it to show my real name, I've got a nickname, whatever, I can put that there, the number that I want to display, and then the email address. You can put whatever information you want in there, and then that'll display on the bottom here, so that you can, as you're sharing with prospectors, or you can always say, hey, go down to the bottom in the footer if you need to get a hold of me. That's a great way to get a hold of me. So just making sure that you understand that that's there, and then you can customize that to your liking and your needs. Right now, the presentation section, we only have the one very, very light presentation right now that just really explains the overarching concept that we're working with. We're going to be rolling out additional projects. You'll see more of those presentations in here. So just keep an eye on here on this section, and you'll have access to some of the resources as we make them available. The referral tree. So as you're building your organization, you'll see it'll start to build out like this. There's some different ranks that we have that are part of our compensation or commission plan. We all start out as promoters. There's Neo, there's prodigies, phenoms, and moguls. So we'll talk again. That's more of a commission plan training that we'll get into and explain some of that. But you'll kind of see that this is what your referral tree will look like. As individuals come, you'll also be able to go and see when their last purchase was, and just information here in your referral status report. Monthly volume will track like where the volume is coming from, which people on your team are referring other people and generating sales that you'll be commissioned on and things like that. So just some basic information for tracking your business as you're growing it, tracking your network as you're growing it. And then your wallet, this is an internal wallet. As you receive commissions, it'll come in here, and then you can choose to how you want to disperse that, either via crypto or fiat. The earnings reports, as you earn, the statements will come in here, and you can go into the breakdowns and actually see like who you earned on, tax documents, order history, profile. So those are all sections, and some of those we'll get into it in a later training. Like I said before, the main thing I want to focus on right now is on the shopping experience, because again, there's some nuances here that are very different from your traditional Amazon or some other e-commerce site that you might be purchasing through. Right now, we are featuring the Where Play collection, right? So this is Carousel World. There's actually 2 different series of NFTs. The series 1 is the one that you're probably most familiar with or have been exposed to so far. These are the rare NFTs. These are the wax NFTs, and you can purchase them right now at a discounted price through MetaFlexPro, and then just transfer them directly to your Wax wallet. And we'll show you that, or whatever wallet you store your NFTs in. And we'll get into that here in a second. But if you notice here, this particular series of NFTs, I can mouse over any one of these that I'm interested in, and I have some options. There's an add to cart here. I can also click on info, and then I can see a little bit more and learn a little bit more about this particular NFT. In this case, it's the Rainbow Rare. I can cycle through and learn about the different NFTs and learn what makes them different. See their pricing. I can add straight to the cart from there. So it's like a traditional shopping cart. You can also switch between this more graphical view and then more of and then sometimes on mobile, if someone complains that they're having a hard time looking at the different NFTs, just tell them to click on the little icon that has 4 squares, and they can switch between kind of a list view or a grid view. So that's series 1 NFTs. Series 2 NFTs are these that are the crossover, these minted plush NFTs. So these are actually, we don't have a specific date yet. I believe it's probably right around the 5th of February. So it's a few days away where these will probably enter into a pre-sale, with delivery being late March to play it safe. That's kind of what we're shooting for right now. And if you don't know about these are an actual physical toy that you receive. You use your smartphone and point it at the actual plush toy itself, and it mints the NFT for you right there on the spot, and then transfers that to your wallet. So it's a really cool crossover technology where you have an actual physical item that kind of starts the minting of the NFT process, and you have the digital representation also in your possession. So it's just really, really cool stuff. So these will become available in the next, I would say within the next week, just to play it safe. So let's get back to Carousel Series 1 NFTs. So these are available right now. How we're working this is that we've got a limited number of these, and we're not putting them all for sale right away. So we're releasing them in batches. And so what you'll see here is on the screen, and hopefully you can see this. I'm going to highlight it. You'll see that of the Carousel Rainbow Rare, there's 99.01% remaining of the current batch at $105 for this NFT. So once that gets down to 0, Rainbow Rare will go away until we release another batch, and it won't be at 105. It'll be at a higher price. So that's just kind of how the schedule will be. It's a progressively increasing schedule. The first people that buy are getting the best prices on these particular assets. So keep an eye on these, that as they get down to 0, you're not going to see them for a while. And that's really, if you're very interested in the Uniboogie Rare right here at this particular price point, you better get it before it gets down to 0. Otherwise, you're going to miss out on the opportunity. So that's one thing I want to point out there. The other thing, that as I add this to my cart, so as hopefully you're tracking with me, that these NFTs are limited, right? So in this particular batch, there's only a certain number of them that we make available. And so when you add it to your cart, what happens is that you're going to notice here that you'll have a checkout button, and there's a little notice that appears on the lower right-hand corner as well. But now if I go into my cart, in a way, you have a lock on this item. And each one of the different NFTs have different lock times. For the most part, most of the NFTs in this batch have about an hour lock time. The Uniboogie only has a 20-minute lock time, just because they're a lot more rare. So what this means is that, and if I refresh this page, you're going to see that, okay, I now have 59.5 minutes. So once that gets down to 0 minutes, if I don't complete my order in time, then what happens is this bounces out of my shopping cart, right? So I have a lock for 1 hour. I can shop and choose other items and add them to my cart. But if I don't complete my order in time, then those items go back into the general circulation. And we're just doing that to keep it fair for everyone. So as we start to share and gain some momentum, you're going to want to get the NFTs that you're interested in, get them in your cart, get through checkout, and do that fairly quickly. If you don't, you snooze, you lose, then they go back into circulation. And again, they may still be available and you can add it to your cart again, but just keep in mind, and some items don't have this lock, but for the most part, all of the NFTs right now. So if I go back to shopping and I add Magic here and add Magic to my cart, I go check out, you're going to see now that Magic has the full 60 minutes and Rainbow only has 58 minutes and some extra. I can add multiple quantities of these items. So that's something to just be very cognizant of, is that lock time. And so you're not missing out on those. And there's a note right here that kind of spells this out a little bit. Again, I'm sharing some of this information with you so that you can be a coach to the prospectors that you bring into MetaFlexPro. So you can explain to them some of these, that A, there's a limited supply, and then B, get the ones you want and check out fairly quickly so you don't lose these NFTs. Right now, there's 99% of those available. As we turn on the spigot, a lot of you have been kind of in a holding pattern until we had this training, so you fully understood what these details were. And now that you do know what they are, then obviously these are going to go a lot quicker. And then once you have the items in your cart and you're ready to check out, until you earn any kind of commissions, you're just going to be paying with a credit card. You come in here, it fills in as much as it can based upon your profile information. You can change any of this information. Once you come down here, it's just like a traditional checkout process. You put in your credit card number. You click on use this card. If it's it'll let you know it's a valid card. And then a button will show up that says complete this order. So it's very simple. Just fill out your basic information, payment information, use this card, submit the order, and then you're on your way. So the main things to remember, just to recap, not to drag this out too long, is the time or the limited quantity. And you can see that high visibility right there. Once I go into the card itself, the lock time. So those are two things that I would just really stress to the individuals that you're sharing with. So once you check out and you complete your order, you'll get a receipt, you'll get an email confirmation, all those standard things. The next piece of this training that I need to move on to is that you'll notice that, okay, well, great, I just bought some digital products, but I didn't really indicate where I wanted those digital products to go. And we did that intentionally. Why? Because we're trying to create a very frictionless buying experience, right? So some of the people that you're going to be sharing MetaFlexPro with, these prospectors that are coming in, they aren't super crypto savvy, right? So we've tried to create a very familiar standard shopping experience. We didn't want them to get tripped up in having to set up a Wax wallet and go through KYC and make sure that, all their I's are dotted and their T's are crossed, because that can be a lengthy process for someone that's just barely getting into crypto. And we understand that. So we've removed all of that. They come in, select their NFTs, make the purchase, pay for it. Once it's paid for, now I'm in the same section where I did the shopping. You'll see here that there's an option that says Manage Where Play Digitals. Once I move into Manage Where Play Digitals, whatever I've purchased, and again, if I go back over to my order history in this demo account, you'll see that I purchased something on the 29th. If I click on here, I can see my receipt, the same one that I'll receive that I'll see when I complete my purchase. But I bought 3 Carousel Rainbow Rares, a Nala Rare, and a Carousel Magic Rare. I got a really great deal here for $10.50 on these 3. That's why I bought 3. And so there's I should have a total of 5 digital items, right, that I can manage. And so I wanted to share this with you because now when we come in here to manage Where Play Digitals, you're going to see those same 5 items. And again, some of them, if I bought, I bought the 3 rainbow rares, each one of them is going to have their own line here. So what that means is that even though you buy 3 in a given order of the same NFT, right? These are serialized, so they're different NFTs, but of the same type, right? Which is the rainbow rare. I can send them to 3 different destinations. So that's the important thing to note here. So you'll see that I purchased these on a given date here, or they were moved into this management process on a certain date. Here's my invoice number. Here's what they were. Here was the type of the NFTs, and then the status. So you'll see that, for instance, that I've got the green means that they've already been transferred to my wallet. So this is an external wallet that I can go and see this asset in. And then if they're gray like this, you'll see here, and the status will kind of tell you it's pending transfer. I've given them the wallet. I've given the system the wallet, and it just has not transferred yet. Once it's fully transferred, then you'll see it turn green like this, meaning that that's now, that digital asset has been fully transferred. The yellow ones mean that they need attention or need assignment. What does that mean? Essentially, you'll just come in here, and this allows you to do a bulk process. So if you just had 5 of them and you didn't want to have to do each one individually, you could select them all, or I could just do 2 at a time. And then I would click on right up here and say assign assets. Pop-up comes up and I put in the wallet address, and then it just says, okay, this will be processing. So it's really simple. If I want to go in here, I can always go each one of these particular NFTs. I can go in and see the invoice that I purchased it on. And then I can also go and view the wallet that was being transferred. And this view wallet will appear for the ones, the NFTs that have been transferred or pending transfer. And you'll see down here that right here, I can assign the asset through this actions option as well, but I can't see it because I haven't told it what wallet that I'm transferring it to. So there we go. Limited supply, right? So you'll see that in the shopping experience. Lock times on the assets in the cart. And then once people have completed their purchase, help them understand that they need to just come in here and transfer these. And again, that's a great opportunity for you to help them set the wallet up. The other thing, we have a video that the team has put together that we'll add here as well, so that some of this could be self-service. Again, we understand that the growth of MetaFlexPro will be on automation, how well we can master automation, right? And make this something where it runs on autopilot for you. So you're doing the referrals, people are coming here, understanding it, it's intuitive, and they move forward, and the team grows, and everything works out the way we planned it to. Okay, so shopping was the #1 thing I wanted to cover here. The other thing I wanted to touch on is very important as well, and that's support. Okay, so if you notice right down in the lower right corner, there's a little head icon. So once I log in here, if I want to communicate with support, if there's a live agent that's available, you can just click on this and click chat now. If the live agent is not available, then it'll just have a box that says what's your name, type in your issue, your question, and then you hit submit. So it's just a really nice place to go if you have any issues whatsoever. And sometimes if you are in the right time zones, mainly here in North America, most of the time you'll see a support agent's available, and you'll be able to just go, and if you have questions or your prospectors have questions, just direct them to that and say, hey, go hit that little support icon in the lower right, and then you can get sometimes instant access to a support agent, or if not, you just submit your issue, or your prospector could submit their issue. So the other way to get a hold of us regarding any problems you have is this email address down here. It's at the bottom of your replicating website. You can always find that, support@metaflexpro.com. It goes into our ticketing system and in our queue, and then we'll respond and provide you support as quickly as we can. We try to get support inquiries handled in 2 to 4 hours. If it's a weekend, a holiday, things like that, sometimes it takes a little bit longer. So that's really what I wanted to cover today. Maria, did you have any questions or anything that you thought I should emphasize a little more? I think you're muted.
Sorry.
No
I
problem.
think this is amazing. I love the fact that it's so user friendly. I mean, it's you're able to log in, look into the back office, and literally it's like you're shopping at Amazon. That's how easy it is. So I appreciate that you've done it like this for us, because one of the things that can be very difficult is when we are working in a back office that is super complicated. And so I like the fact that we have the support available, and we have the email, and that you have the chat. So that is really great. Thank you so much for sharing all of this. We can open it up to those that have joined. I know that many of them have already registered. If you guys have a particular question for Mr. Tony Potter, his time is precious, guys. His time is precious. So take advantage. If you have a question, go ahead and raise your hand. But I really love it, Tony. It's really good. I love that, we have the collections. So one of the features that you have here, as far as just being able to obtain that info, and you get the details of that particular NFT and the description. I really appreciate that. That's really good. And that, yeah, really well done. Well, Uni Boogie, my favorite.
I will. Who's your favorite? Uni Boogie?
Uni Boogie and Sparkle.
Yeah, Sparkle's my daughter's favorite.
Oh, yes. I love Sparkle. She's so adorable. All right, guys. Now is the time. And now is the time. So what normally happens, Tony, is we end the Zoom and then the calls split in with all the questions, and that's fine as well. So if you do have any questions, go ahead, boss.
I had a question. So, and if I refer, so let's say, Tony, I introduce like 20 people and they buy unicorns, then I make, commission 3 levels, so 10, 5, and 3. Is that paid weekly or do we know?
Yes, that will be paid weekly. Right now, we in this soft launch or pre-launch period, what we're doing is consolidating. We're thinking about the first 2 weeks of February kind of being that first commission run, just so everyone has a fair chance to get their prospects in, get sales going, and we iron out all the kinks, right? Every launch has its own little set of glitches. So we're looking to iron that out and really have through the 14th be, and that's subject to change, but the kind of the first week. And that's a benefit because you really get to hit the qualifications. You have 2 weeks to hit the qualifications essentially. So great question.
Oh man, I just got back, so I plan on hitting qualifications tomorrow, all of them.
Yes. Hold on,
sir.
I have. All right, Ivy. Ivy has a question.
Hi, Ivy.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Tony Potter. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Pretty good. I registered. Well, some of my team registered onto MetaFlexPro, and then how do they add their WAM wallet onto the because they're in there as guests, it says. How do they add their WAM wallet to that?
They do that right here once they've made a purchase. So they don't need to necessarily add that until they actually purchase an NFT that they would need to transfer somewhere else. Does that make sense? So once they actually go through the checkout process and place an order, then they would come in here and be able to say, okay, yes, I want this rainbow rare to go to this WAM wallet.
Okay, and they're able to add the WAM wallet they have right now.
Yep, exactly.
Okay,
and they can assign, if they bought an NFT for somebody else, they can send it to their WAM wallet too. It isn't new visitor. Not all the NFTs that you purchase have to all go to one wallet. You can break them up and send them to however many wallets that you want.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Great question.
We have Ms. Kathy, Cash Out Kathy.
Hey, Kathy, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for asking. I just got a quick question. So you said the current NFTs that we have, so people that pre-ordered and they already have their NFTs in their wallet, but they're part of the team, how do they get credit for that?
That's a great question. I would recommend that potentially we have a call with James to figure that out. Just some people were lucky enough to actually get involved even before the pre-launch. And so there's some operational stuff we'll need to do to get that transferred. Great question. So those are showing up in the back office as well. We can make that happen.
Well, Tony, can I comment on that?
Yeah.
Is the question, if they purchase prior to the system, it's just all prior to the system going live. So, but anything from that, is that, you mean pertaining to like rank and stuff like that, Kathy?
Yes, in order for them to be able to have credit for purchasing the NFT, because if it's not showing in here, then how do we know that they already purchased?
You mean to qualify, Kathy?
Yes.
Okay.
And
yeah, I think we can. I'll get with Tony so we can make that simple, because it's not. We're not gonna place all that in the system. But if they have made a purchase, maybe we can go through the spreadsheet, because everyone's been paid, so we can just go through the spreadsheet and make sure they're active.
Yeah, just to make sure that they're qualified within the system, within MetaFlexPro.
Yes. Thank you.
Understood.
Great question, Kathy.
Yeah, that's a really good question. Thank you, Kathy.
You're welcome, and welcome back, James.
Thank you. Let's get it. Anthony.
I think Ivy had another question.
okay.
No, I'm sorry, Maria. I didn't have another question.
Oh, okay, I saw your hand right. All right. All right. Anybody else? Anybody else? We have the man, the myth, the legend himself, the creator that created this amazing system. I really like it. It's very super user friendly, and that is definitely a benefit to us and everybody else that will be registering. I really like the support that we have in place. So that's really going to be good for all the promoters and the prospects. So, all right.
Well,
thank you so much, Tony. I really appreciate your time. I know that as we progress, we'll probably gather a ton more questions for you. But I really appreciate the time that you've given us. This is an amazing system that you've created. I mean, no wonder Akon and you are doing some amazing things out there. So I'm just really happy that you are rocking with us and that you've created this for us. So thank you, everyone, for joining. Remember, stay connected to that Telegram. I went ahead and put that link in the chat. If you're not part of the Telegram group, go ahead and join. We're going to be providing a lot of information. Very important to stay connected. Very important to get your team in front of this information, because then we're just flawless, right? So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, boss. Welcome back. We've missed you. All the leadership. I see that Mr. Jody Woods is in the room as well, and he's going to be our corporate trainer when it comes to MetaFlexPro. So you'll be hearing from him as well. So thank you so much. And this call has officially ended. Have a good evening, everyone. Bye.